Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. I recently read the Necronomicon in my house, and one of the side effects of reading such a tome is no microphones will work at your house at all. It was on, it was recording, and it was running, and there was no audio on it. And all the levels were fine when I checked them. Freaky deaky. So the audio on this episode is totally fucked. I would have just scrapped it, but it's fucking funny and deal with it. Deal with it! I'm feeling a little down from all the audio stuff.
Aw, but you're looking so good.
Oh, why, thank you.
But you shouldn't feel down because here we are. We're knocking it out.
Here we are, we figured it out. There's several microphones in the house. There's several cameras. We got this. Fuck you, Focusrite. Fuck you, Scarlet.
So the camera is positioned on top of a dog, and if they move, we're toast. So stay still. You better stay still.
Speaking of toast, you just had some.
I just housed 3 pieces of Martin's potato bread toast.
Powdered toast.
Ah, man. Yeah, toast, especially potato bread toast. It just puts my soul back in the right position. And of course it has a lot of butter on it. Salted butter, please. And
potato bread is like God's gooch. I mean,
are you kidding me? If I could eat toast for every meal, I surely would try. But then something very bad would probably happen to my body and its mechanics.
You think so?
I think so. If you just eat
your turds
squishy bread and butter.
Perfect.
your turds would be too perfect for this world. They would go up into the sky instead of going down into the toilet. So they can go out to the sea and find their families.
It would be the turd rapture. Which leads me to my first bit of news. I'm not kidding. I was hoping turds would just naturally appear.
Well, don't they always? Turd rapture.
All right, guys, diving in. This is Whitney's side of the corner, talking about hashtag turd rapture. Let's get that trending.
That made my stomach hurt.
It would be so funny to witness the turd rapture, like, because you wouldn't have to smell it. Like, it's
oh my gosh,
the smell is above us. I've found, I didn't read the article, but I just glanced at it, you know, that's what we all do these days.
That's what I do when I'm looking at the news.
Well, and then also, there's just fucking nothing in the article. Like, people are just reading headlines because you have so much news. So, SpaceX had to shut down their toilet. This is not the first time they've had to shut down a toilet or have a broken toilet.
Okay, please continue, but then I have a lot of questions.
There was this was a previous toilet issue. An alarm went off with the SpaceX's all-tourist flight earlier this year, signaling a problem with the onboard waste system. He said that the spacecraft's urine storage system had become disconnected in flight, allowing cooled urine to enter a fan system. So I immediately pictured it entering like the HVAC.
But in zero gravity, it would be all these tiny little yellow beads, right?
And just everyone is just snorting their own millionaire piss.
Wow, they cannot contain their excrement.
But the title of the article is SpaceX astronauts?
Big piss problems at SpaceX.
Will have to wear diapers returning. A broken toilet in a SpaceX capsule means astronauts will return to Earth in diapers. And
oh my lord.
I had a lot of questions only about the types of diapers.
That is beautiful. That means they had this emergency plan prepared before they went up, right? They've got emergency diapers up there.
You have to. I'm sure you have to prepare for every
outcome
scenario.
What other ridiculous, like, final destination scenario are they prepared for?
I don't know, but that's my favorite one.
I want to
get the diapers. Get the fucking diapers out. Hurry after shit.
And how many do they bring? Like
one
for each person on there.
Where are you going to put the dirty diaper?
There's got to be
You're
contingency
launching into
diapers.
space. There's a whole satellite
You just
system
shoot
of
it
this.
into the sun. That's what you do with your garbage when you're in space.
How could you launch the diaper rocket into the sun?
Well, as long as nothing gets in the way, you just like push it in the right direction and then it just gets there eventually.
Hopefully.
You don't have to shoot it in
unless
space.
It gets picked up by that fucking giant cigar-shaped rock that they think is alien technology.
What is that called again? Ouroboros?
Rocket.
Ouroboros.
It's a Hawaiian name.
Yeah. The cigar-shaped
Alien spacecraft
asteroid.
I fucking love that thing. I love looking at it. I love thinking about it.
Where is it at right
I
now?
don't know. It's got aliens in it. It's just like the aliens made it, and they're like, huh, it's a bit weird shaped, but it'll do. Like,
I feel like maybe it was a captured naturally made by, you know, the laws of nature and all the matter floating around. And then aliens were like, oh shit, Chad, did you see there was an entrance? Like, we could hollow this out and make it into a dope man cave.
It's an alien Airbnb. Like, you guys want to spook humans? They don't know shit.
They won't even see us coming. It looks like a fucking rock, dude. It's like the perfect way to troll us,
Yes.
you know?
Oblong.
It's like they're all in there like snickering. Like, they will never know.
And yet here we are being like, yo, we gotta name that thing Amo Rocket.
Hammurabi's Code. No, I think it's Ouroboros, or maybe I'm thinking of...
I've got something
I
to
think
look
that's a
it up.
snake devouring its...
Yes.
I'll be listening. I try.
Google this. Name of oblong.
Cigar-shaped
Oh,
UFO.
Oh.
Whitney's first day on Google. Oumuamua.
Oumuamua.
Oumuamua. That's right.
It's between 100 and 1,000 meters.
I don't know what a meter is.
3 feet.
Okay, so like this?
Yeah, it's like this big.
It's but 1,000 of these in the shape of a cigar.
Real quick, back to the SpaceX diapers. I was
Yes.
thinking about if I was coming back into space, how the likelihood of me having to shit would be high.
Very
Because
high.
you're nervous.
Very high.
And also you've been eating whatever dehydrated ice cream or whatever the fuck. Astronaut.
It goes right through you.
I want there to be a poop pocket. Like, I don't want to... You're not going to make an astronaut sit in their own filth, right? Like, there's going to be a...
Well, I feel like the clearest choice is colostomy bag.
Or the clearest choice is a clear diaper.
It's like Pepsi Clear, but for diapers. It's like, are you tired of not witnessing the miracle of defecation? Try our clear diapers so you don't miss a thing.
It simulates a fishbowl.
I mean, it's like something that we usually try to hide. Let's embrace it.
We do hide it, I think, because it was killing us.
Our poop?
Yes.
Oh, when you poop in the drinking water.
Yeah, they couldn't figure out why a bunch of people were dying in this certain sector of...
He's got dysentery, she's got dysentery. What's the problem?
They're only smeared in shit
Everybody's covered in their own shit.
all the time. Which leads me to my next.
She's got topics for days, and they all have to do with poop.
This has to do with cloacas.
Yeah!
They're on the Wikipedia. There are all these pictures of cloacas, and I was like, don't need to see that. It's like,
Pictures of cloacas. I've only ever seen like the feathers that suggest where the cloaca is, and they're all poopy and like yucky. And you're like, hey chicken, do you need a wipe? Do you need me to get you a wipe? On your cloaca, which is capable of doing anything. Talk about all-purpose tool. Cloaca.
There was the first sewer system was called the Cloaca Maxima.
No shit. Oh my.
Do you want to get Cloaca Maxima tattoos?
No, yes. Why don't we already have the appointment made? Maxima. There's Cloaca Maximus himself. Wow. Because they can they birth eggs, they pee-pee, and they poo-poo. And then is that also where the eggs get fertilized too?
No, yeah,
Going the other way?
I wrote this down for you.
You knew what I would ask. You knew what I'd want to know.
Mating through the cloaca is also known as cloacal copulation or called the cloaca kiss.
CC or CK? Cloacal copulation. Cloaca cop?
Cloaca cop?
Do not call the cloaca cops.
I also found out that Cloaca is a Roman goddess.
Of what?
Wiping.
Nuh-uh. I was gonna say, I bet they didn't wipe back then. I bet they sprayed.
Wiping was a rather
they
recent invention.
I bet they splashed, you know?
She is the goddess of cleanliness?
Okay, I'll take that.
I don't know why you would name the orifice of everything.
Well,
Universal orifice.
You gotta keep the orifice clean, which leads me to a little anecdote.
Ooh.
And I don't know if this really is an anecdote or not. It's just something funny that me and my friends were talking about this weekend. So, did you know that sometimes a person with the problem of hyper-toxic masculinity will leave their butthole completely untouched for fear of touching their own butthole?
Okay, back up.
Okay, as in they poop and they don't wipe.
That sounds itchy.
That's what I said. That sounds itchy as hell. But apparently there is a type of person out there who would rather have an itchy, dirty butt than touch their own butt and risk perhaps liking it.
Okay, but who's telling you that?
It's like a third or fourth hand source probably.
There's no... See, to me, I just immediately think of Russian troll farm. That's just like typing insane shit and dropping it into the Reddit bucket.
Yeah, but
I'm like,
reality is always scarier than
that's true.
fiction.
Yeah.
I believe that there must be at least one man out there who doesn't wipe his butt because he's afraid of turning gay.
What is... I mean, come on, man. That person probably has a lot of different issues on a lot of different levels.
Definitely, but I'm just glad and proud that I
Wipe your butt?
am a clean guy. Thank you.
You're a clean guy.
I'm a clean guy. I keep it clean.
We're not afraid of touching our own buttholes.
No way.
Now we gotta find somebody that we can interview who doesn't wipe their own butt.
Email us. cosmicturd69@gmail.com. We want to know why you don't want to wipe your butt.
Please
or at
tell
least
us.
get one of those fountains in your toilet. Get a bidet if you don't want to touch it. Just let Mother Earth clean it with water.
Dude, I'd love a bidet.
I want one.
They have
I feel
one
like
with,
that'd be cool.
Warm water.
Yeah, I want one of those cool Japanese
cold
ones that
water.
has all the like different colored lights and like fountain
It
settings.
sings you a lullaby in an eerily strange voice, like it sounds like your mom.
And then a rice ball pops out of the side of the, it like pops
Homemade
up.
rice ball?
Yeah, and you're like, oh, this is good for now. That's what I want. We should design products.
Yes. Although that sounds like it might already exist.
The toilet thing does.
With the snacks? With the rice ball warmer on the side?
Well, I'm not sure about that.
Make poop while you poop.
Rice ball warmer. I feel like you could just use a cooler for that, even though that seems counterintuitive. Because coolers technically just maintain the temperature within.
Right.
Because I've used a cooler as like a proofing cabinet before. You just like put warm water in it instead of ice. So I feel like you could just use a cooler as a rice ball warmer. So you need a cooler for beside your toilet. And that's my 2 cents.
The reason why I looked up cloaca is because I came to this realization this week that I don't ever want to eat eggs. Because I was like, I like omelets, I like eggs and stuff. If I'm out and about, I'll eat an egg. I'm not picky. I don't care. If I'm at home, I'm like, this is cloaca snot. This is...
It's a miracle.
I know it is. I don't deny the miracle.
Literally.
It's a dinosaur.
Not figuratively.
We have been eating eggs since in prehistoric times. I mean, we've been eating eggs since man could find a nest. And then I went to the egg Wikipedia, and there was this really funny picture that I have to show you, and I'll put it on YouTube. I was like, oh, thanks. Scrambled eggs in progress. If you ever wanted to know what they look like,
Great.
there are some weird people on Wikipedia.
You're making that weird.
It's so funny.
Dude, eggs are maybe my number 1 or number 2 food. Like, I think it goes lemon and then eggs, or it might be like onion, lemon, eggs, or there's something like, I don't know. Eggs are so important.
I was reading about how in the 16th century in France, they were mixing citrus with eggs and eating it, and I was like, that sounds disgusting, but then they're like, well, that was the birth of the lemon curd.
Definitely.
And I was like, oh, okay, lemon curd is way different than what I was thinking.
Yeah, but also there's a Greek soup called avolemono or something like that, and it's like a savory mixture of eggs and lemons, and it's dope. It's like got rice and chicken in it.
Cooked eggs?
Yeah, it's cooked.
Okay, yeah.
It's just the yolks. But I mean, yeah, it's cloaca snot, but it's delicious cloaca snot. It's
Like
magic
when the yolk
cloaca
pops
snot.
and sneezes all over the rest of my food, it's all I can taste is just the ovum, and I'm like, I don't want this.
But the yellow is not the egg. The yellow is the
It is
food.
for the fetus, so it tastes like placenta, I guess. Dinosaur placenta.
I just think that's a fucking miracle, and I want to eat that miracle.
They also on Wikipedia had a picture of the egg without the shell because they soaked it in vinegar. Have you ever heard of that?
And then it just dissolved?
Yeah.
Whoa. And how did it not just mix into the vinegar solution?
Maybe it did. Well, they just had the egg. I don't know what happened to the vinegar part. Also, eggshells in rituals are huge.
I could see that.
The Greeks used to grind eggshells into their plates that they had just eaten off of so that spirits wouldn't, I don't know, haunt their plate or whatever. I want to get in their head because
Eggshell appeasement.
we can't fathom what their superstitions, because we weren't dumber, but there were just different collective consciousnesses permeating and different.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that I was thinking about too, like establishing human traditions and like how you establish a new tradition. Because like I'm sure there was a tradition of preparing your meal or your bath or your fire, just like preparation of things that involved invoking certain gods or deities or spirits, or like doing some ritual to like block it from bad stuff coming in, like whatever you're doing. And those techniques and those rituals evolve over time as people mix, as people learn, as people share and sort of observe. But there's always resistance to new traditions, but then eventually you just do them so much that they sink into you and they're like second nature. So I wonder how and why that egg thing fell away. Maybe because it didn't prove to be very efficacious, and like however many shells you ground into your plate, like demons still showed up when you're eating dinner.
It took one person to be like, I don't have time. Then they left.
Right.
And then he was fine.
You didn't have time to fulfill the ritual. You see that it didn't matter, so you drop it.
Yeah. That's probably what
That's probably it.
But what he didn't know is that he was breaking the universal cosmic consciousness chain of whatever.
Yeah, if we had like a big giant universal brain and it was like made up of all of our little synapses and we're all connected through all these spider web threads of thoughts.
Pompeii.
So his little dendrite, or that little information superhighway in our universal brain, is cut off, and it's like, I don't know, withered and shrunken, and it'll cease to exist as soon as this conversation ends.
That leads me to my next topic.
What were we talking about?
Wait a second. Eggshells.
Wait.
Did you know recently an evil demon was locked in a rock for almost 1,000 years, is now on the loose? The so-called killing stone that kept the malevolent spirit imprisoned all this time has split in two, sending believers into a state of panic. Japanese legend has it that anyone who comes into contact with the rock will die. According to mythology, the volcanic rock, officially called Seisho Seki, is home to Tamamomo no Me, aka the nine-tailed fox. Tamamomo no Me.
Oh, okay.
The demon apparently took the form of a beautiful woman who was part of the plot to kill Emperor Toba, ruler from Japan of 1107 to 1123. Located in the mountainous northern region of Tochigi near Tokyo, the rock is something of a tourist hotspot, but now visitors are fearful. Some speculate that the evil spirit may have been resurrected to wreak havoc once more. Somebody tweeted at the location where this large rock is split in half, I feel like I'm seeing something that shouldn't be seen.
Okay, how did they know that the demon was in there before?
It's just, that's one of those legends.
And how big is the rock? Because I feel like I saw a picture of it and it looked like it was this big.
It's a pretty big rock, maybe like a little bit longer than this table.
And it was just broken in half?
Split right in half.
Do we think there's any foul play?
Researchers think that it's been cracking for a while and rainwater got in there and made it break open, but I'm kind of on the superstitious side.
I always want to be on the superstitious side. It's just more fun over here.
Well, it's also the logical mind goes, well, this cracked. And you're like, sure, the rain made it crack. And I'm like, because the demon inside of it was ready to come out.
Because God is in the rain. Everything natural is driven by divine power.
It's all connected.
Everything's connected. So, that's interesting because, everyone who goes near it will die, but it's also like a tourist trap.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So who's dying when they go near it? Probably no one.
It's roped off.
Okay, so the circumference of there's a radius of protection.
Yes,
it's all demons have an accretion disk, like a black hole, and as long as you stay out of it, then you won't get sucked into their evil pull.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Right?
That seems fine. That makes sense.
I like how I was like, oh, the demon was a Pokemon. I'm like, okay. Ninetales? I'm thinking back to my Pokemon glory days, and
I feel like that all goes back to, well, it can't all go back to it, but the concept of kami. And sorry, I don't mean to be chewing right now. I just can't stop eating. Kami in the Shinto religion, they're often characterized as gods or spirits or demons or deities or whatever, but that doesn't really encapsulate the totality of what kami really is. It's the sheer awe and power of nature. So it's dead stuff, living stuff, inorganic stuff, rock slides. It's just the power of nature. So I feel Pokemon, Japanese demons, hungry ghosts. That's probably a Buddhist thing, but all these things sort of fall under that category of kami.
Yeah.
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 Where's the demon headed?
Well, I immediately thought about Constantine. Have you seen Constantine yet?
No, and you bring up this movie enough for me.
Why haven't you seen it yet? So, there's a demon-like presence in that movie that as soon as it arrives in this realm, it knows exactly where it's going and it just starts walking there. So I could see it doing something like that and being freaky deaky.
I feel like a demon knows where it's going.
Then, I guess the rock is supposed to be the portal. I was gonna say, why doesn't it just appear where it wants to be? But I don't know how it works like that.
I don't know. Volcanic lava was the right temperature at the right time, summoned with the...
It's like being encased in carbonite, but instead it's encased in lava rock.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about neutrinos?
Not enough to speak on it publicly. No, I don't.
Well, they come from the sun, and they sort of stream through the earth. Like, there are very specific situations that scientists can set up in order to capture them, but it's interesting because it can go through
Sounds expensive.
all the rocks of the earth, but if they set up like this giant pure water, like distilled water filled chamber with all these little glass domes around it, then they can capture neutrinos. And I don't know, I can't really speak to the accuracy of that description, but that is what I'm led to believe. So if neutrinos and their sort of quantum properties, like they can stream through rocks, but they're caught by water, like what is the property of a demon spirit that it could get trapped in a lava rock, but also I'm sure other surfaces are permeable to it. It's just interesting to think about the properties of these sort of metaphysical concepts and ideas.
Right. I think it has to be, well, like water's crazy, right? If it wasn't polar, none of us would be here. Like if there wasn't polarity, we couldn't. Like learning how water works in a body is
Because
downright miraculous.
does that mean it wants to bond with stuff?
It repels things. It attracts
Cohesion,
things.
adhesion.
It's just perfect. It's the most perfect molecule. And we would
Oh,
all
because
die
when-
without it.
DNA is like slurping around in water, then it gets all loosey-goosey and wants to,
Gonna have to.
and then it's
pull
like
out my
struck by a lightning bolt, and then there's like some other shit, and then here we are.
Here we are. It's a conductor. I remember learning like about fat and how it works in water and being like, I was like, is anyone else freaked out by this? This is fucking freaky.
I'm not eating eggs anymore. I'm not eating them.
Fuck your cloaca snot. Anyways, what are we talking about? Neutrinos?
Neutrinos, Japanese spirit rocks. I often just think about destiny. Destiny as just sort of a catch-all for making everything that happens okay. You know, it's like, well, if I miss my flight, I wasn't meant to catch my flight, you know? Just sort of giving it up to whatever is going to happen. But I feel like that would require us to believe in determinism or like predestination, sort of. And then that would strip us of our free will and like causality, you know? Like if we believe...
I have so much to say right now.
Great, that's perfect.
No, keep going.
If we believe that what happens has happened and couldn't have happened any other way, how do we get involved in that? How do we change, you know? Please, give me a window into your brain.
We like to think of, there's one me, there's one path, there's one end. No, absolutely 100% not what's happening. I think the best way to think of, like when I think of God, I think of like this infinite piano. There's all these notes. There's black notes and white notes, and each note is a frequency. And that frequency band is fucking long, right?
Yeah.
And if you're an alcoholic who lives in their own reality, you're like, oh, you're way down here.
Oh.
Okay. That's a vibratory essence. And decisions based on free will, which is a whole nother complicated thing. I'll just try to stay on this piano topic right
Okay.
now. So you're an addict of any kind whose life is crumbling because of your addiction. Mm-hmm. I mean, but I think that there are really functional addicts who can hang on by a thread but still cause trauma. I think we're talking about being stuck, okay?
Yeah.
They're constantly on that one channel.
The one frequency.
The one frequency. I don't think that there's destiny in that. I think you just get immediately. What are the water wheels on the side of buildings called that were like channel electricity?
A water wheel? I don't know.
Whatever that is, you get just thrown back onto that because you didn't do shit. You never broke out of your sausage casing of habits or habitual things to maybe get to a different frequency, right?
Okay.
So
this means free will is very important.
Frequency, yes. Yes. It's so easy for me to get lost on this because I feel like I'm not supposed to be talking about it.
Oh, bold, dicey topic. So we're at God's infinite piano.
Yeah.
We're examining God's infinite piano frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
We've established that people who can't break out of certain patterns,
sensory addictions, oral fixations, anal fixations.
Where you're trapped in your body.
Yes.
When people who can't break out of being trapped in their bodies, they operate at a lower frequency.
Correct.
Who's up here?
People up here are, think of like a constricted muscle.
Okay.
Everything's tense. There is no blood flowing to that muscle. That muscle is strained and it hurts and nothing's happening. Up here, you're
loose.
There are no attachments. My car could get stolen. The less resistance, the more that frequency that you're operating at can channel freely. That's kind of how manifestation works. Like when you're always like, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. You're striving for something. There are no hurdles because you fucking know. Like Jim Carrey wrote that check to himself for like 30 grand. He wrote out a check to Jim Carrey. I think it was Jim Carrey. Folded it up, put it in his wallet, and was like, I'm going to get that. And he'd look at the check and whatever, and like his first movie deal, his first big break, that's the amount of money. Because the hurdles to him were effortless. Right? He's going to get there no matter what. That means strife, struggling, financially, spiritually, but it didn't matter.
Wow.
So
just because he had such a clear vision. Yeah.
Then you're also like, whatever. There are no attachments. Because those attachments can get you really stuck in this vortex of habits and habituals and dopamine and all. We are just fucking wired for casinos, baby. I mean.
Oh, yeah. We need a hit.
We need a hit of everything all the fucking time.
I need a hit. Hit me. So, is it meditation? Is it some sort of specific practice that can get us away from that cycle of attachment and craving?
Meditation is about awareness. So
like the first step, you have to be aware.
Yeah. You just have to know, like,
Snap out of it, ding dong. It's not that big of a deal.
And I'm trying to think too, like, meditation isn't necessarily sitting on a pillow and trying to find space. It can be while you're eating pistachios, you're noticing the shell, you're looking at it, you're noticing the taste, you're taking your time, you're in the moment, you're absorbing that whole experience fully because I feel like we're batteries and a lot of our energy goes different places. And if a part of the percentage of your battery is constantly going to this fucking, whatever it is you're ruminating about, whatever it is you're obsessing about, so much of your essence gets trapped there. That's less essence to maybe ride the fucking God piano up to a different level.
Yes. I love that analogy now. And it's like the oneness that you seek. Mm-hmm. Instead of worrying about how separate you are, how different you are, or how maybe lonely or just like not part of everything you are, just to realize like we are all the same sort of life force trying to see itself as...
Yeah, we're all one giant ball experiencing itself until the beginning to the end is the beginning again.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever see
Constantine? No.
I Heart Huckabees?
Yes.
So Dustin Hoffman explains to Jason Schwartzman, like, he's the existential detective, and he like grabs this sheet and he's like, here's the Eiffel Tower, here's an orgasm, here's a shrimp cocktail, here's me, here's you, we're all part of this sheet.
Yes.
You know? And it's just helpful to think about it like that, especially if you get, I don't know, you go around in the world and there's so much to get angry about, there's so much to be upset over. But then when you realize we're all part of this one big sheet, you know, you can kind of reel it back in and meet that awareness and be soothed by it. I'm usually soothed by it.
Yeah, zooming out is important. Creating boundaries with things is important, especially with suffering. Creating boundaries with your dogs so that they can bark at the see-through boundaries that you put up in between you and the other.
My mom says hi, dogs. Ay, Dios.
I'm gonna go shopping.
Yeah, so, I mean, all these amorphous topics, they often just float around in my head. In one form or another. Hi, Mosif. Hi, Dee.
Dino
and Dee and Mo. Hello, son. Are you doing well today? You healing? Okay, go down. Get thee down. Get thee below me. I suggested that Whitney name her next child, who's not on the way. I'm not insinuating.
Aaron's like, are you pregnant? I was like, what the fuck, Megan?
Oh shit! I'm not trying to do that. I feel like they're in your ova, you know.
They are around. Just. So are you done wanting to race motorcycles yet? Or
No.
Before you get your track bike? Or?
I don't know. It's just like a thought experiment. I just named this kid who doesn't exist Babylon.
Babylon? Reminds me of a fucking transplant song. Don't say that you don't understand.
Babylon. Probably already been done.
You can't understand. Prometheus, Babylon, Jeremiah.
He sounds like a badass.
He'll be born during a tropical storm in Texas, the first of its kind.
Oh, this doesn't bode well. How does it come on shore if it has to enter through the Gulf? Won't it lose steam in the Gulf? Oh man, that makes me think about all the freaky, extreme weather incidents we're in for as time progresses.
Yeah.
Because we are no longer in an ice age, people. We're heating up. I mean, you know that. It's been happening for so long. But
I'm glad we're not in an ice age anymore.
Ice age is a little hard, but all the animals who grew accustomed to living in the ice age are dying off.
Well, that's what happened to the dinosaurs.
I thought the dinosaurs got struck by an asteroid.
No, they went through that whole period of freeze as well.
Wasn't the freeze brought on by the sky being blackened by all of the ash of the impact?
Climate change has been going on for a long...
Well, I know it's cyclical, but does that mean that the asteroid didn't happen?
That's a theory.
What?
At least that's the last episode of whatever I watched. It's still a theory.
I always took the dinosaur impact as true.
Oh, let me double check my own shit.
That would blow my dick off if that wasn't... I thought they had like identified the crater impact site, and it's like in the Atlantic Ocean somewhere.
It's called the Alvarez hypothesis.
Damn, I guess we really don't know anything, huh?
Narp.
Nar.
Dude, because I was
You're looking at me like I should have known.
I was watching Ancient Aliens like every fucking episode, but they have found several cities underground that are massive. And they're thinking that that had to do with climate change too. Well,
Didn't the coastlines used to be a lot farther out too? So maybe that's where Atlantis is lost? Oh, there's like all these ancient cities that are just underwater now and we haven't discovered them yet?
One province, Turkey, that says it is large enough to have sheltered as many as 20,000 people, including livestock.
What is that called? Kettleshuk? Katalshat? I feel like I read about that before.
Dirinikuyu.
Oh, that's different from what I was thinking of. But
Underground.
Turkey, that area, that's the cradle of civilization.
I want to go there.
Where's the Tigris and Euphrates rivers?
Dude, come on, man, you're exposing my ignorance. We should just have a big fucking nap.
No, the valley in between those
Yes.
rivers. Like, I guess that's where Sumer was.
Where is the furnace in my house? So,
We need help locating things.
let's see, here it is. Although it doesn't name... Yeah, Egypt, the Sahara Desert.
Mesopotamia.
Yeah. The Fertile Crescent.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's generally where apples and stuff come from too. And onions. Right where civilization was born.
Wait, do onions come from the Fertile Crescent?
Somewhere over there. I feel like whenever they say like the origin of this species, they usually say like Eastern Eurasia.
Right.
And it's like,
Right.
okay, everywhere? It's just like, it's kind of, I don't know. It's so central. That's like the middle of the earth to me.
Yes.
And then
it
everywhere
is.
else is just satellites.
Speaking of satellites, we have our first question. Did you get any questions? Your phone is on the thing. We may never know.
I hadn't gotten any questions up until sitting down and using my phone on the thing. You bastards. You can ask anything.
I don't know if I should ask permission to use his name. I'll put his name up if he wants it. I don't see why he wouldn't. Anyways, his question is, I feel like you ladies go deep on certain things. An open question I had completed. Good night, everyone.
We're feeling a little completed. We're gonna, let's turn this off.
Contemplated this past week is, when a person is lobotomized, do you think that their soul stays in the body, roams, or returns to the spirit realm? Take it, leave it, chew on it. Either way, it's all good.
I mean, that's tough. Because I don't know if I believe in a permanent soul.
I believe the soul is like a atom.
It's like some kind of particle?
It's electricity for sure, and our brain is what can harness it into a dense form of meat. So I think if you if you damaged a part of it, I think you become fractured, like maybe a little bit like a flickering electricity, like a lamp or something.
Like the current is not solid?
The current is jumbled, and then I don't think if you can't destroy energy, maybe it goes back, that part that you damaged goes back into the great beyond.
Yeah, there's something about that concept that I really like for thinking about our life force. Like, energy can neither be created nor destroyed, it just changes phase. So those phase changes are what happen to our selves, our memories, our compilations. But I don't know that anything that we would recognize could be saved through the phase change.
There's something in the esoteric realm. Like, part of me wants to dive into the pyramid of esoteric and come back to him 2 years later with the appropriate answer.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna speak from what I know. There's a practice in metaphysics called soul retrieval. It's also, you can use that in therapy too, where you go back to traumatic instances and you retrieve the shard of you that you left there, because trauma traps energy and a part of you gets stuck. So if you can retrieve parts of your soul, these fragments of energy, and get them back into your little charging station, who's to say that a part of that shard isn't just permanently gone? and it would take like 11 shamans from every continent to like get it back.
See, I feel like there's just so much power in thought, like the idea that there is a soul, and it's like this golden spiraling, like sort of spiritual fire inside of us. That image and that, like, I feel like that makes it real to us. Like, it affects our lives because that is such a powerful idea. I feel like there's energy in that idea that, like, I always thought that whatever you believe is true. Like, I don't think there's like platonic forms of something quintessential or like the perfect version of X. I think that, well, I mean, whatever you think, man, that's what it is until you think something different. And then it's like when you collapse the wave into a particle, or like the wave-particle duality of light, once you observe it, and then it chooses whether it's a wave or a particle. But until you observe it, it's both.
Oh, right, and then there are particles that, when observed, are acting differently when not observed.
Absolutely. So the fact that every time you go back to a memory and remember it, you change it, it's like nothing is solid. Everything that we think we know, we really, really don't. And it's just constant change. Everything's constant change. So I don't know what my conclusion is talking about this. It's just like, get up every day ready for a new adventure.
But what about, how do you relate that in terms of lobotomize?
Well, I don't know, because I don't know enough about brain plasticity. I also don't think there's like a specific seat of consciousness.
Right.
I don't know if consciousness is related to that concept of the soul. I guess I kind of sidestepped the question because I don't believe in a soul.
Okay.
But if you get lobotomized, then I don't know.
Let's see. I believe the soul is light. Really simple. So if your prism, which is your brain that is absorbing light, there's electricity in neurons firing. That's like what, it's the electric jelly, right? That makes everything happen. If the prism is fractured, the light is disrupted. And that light probably goes back, but probably a part of them stays here. And I'll mention this too because I keep thinking about it. In the medium, there's a medium that I'm working with, and she's on a podcast called the Night Owl Podcast, and she encountered
come forward.
A spirit. Oh no, was I off? She encountered a spirit, and she's sitting with it, and she goes, something's up. She's like, this spirit may have been mentally disabled or insane. She's like, because nothing doesn't make sense the way that I can read it. It does not make sense. And I was like, oh, that's cool that you can tap into something's knowing, and it's jumbled, it's broken, it's a shard,
garbled information.
Yeah, and I was like, that would make sense because that happens when, old school televisions and the static and frequencies have to be reset on transmitters, and
it also begs the question, like, do animals have that type of knowing that they leave behind when they pass away? Or do they...
It's a different piano. I think it's a different set of keys, but it's still an instrument.
Whoa, I feel like that's a big deal. Like, they don't kind of operate on the same level as us?
No, and then like you look at mushrooms and plants, and they're like fucking computers. I mean, like...
Yeah.
You're like, wait a second, I'm eating something that could signal to other mushrooms 5 miles away that this tree is dying and you're fucked. You're like, oh fuck. It's just like, but that's, once again, a different instrument, different frequency band that we cannot comprehend, of communication that is just as complex as our own. But we get to sit and dictate what's valuable and what isn't because I don't know.
I feel like the time frames that those miraculous natural things operate on are at the same time like really, really short. like the lifespan of a mushroom on the surface is like very short.
Right.
But then like the eons of knowledge that
Mountains.
and like the huge underground mycelium that's formed, like those are almost timeless. Like I don't know, it's just incredible.
It begs the question, would you eat a 600-year-old mollusk?
No! But I'd be eating mushrooms, I do. But no, a mahogany clam that's been underwater for 600 years, leave it alone. Would you eat it?
I just don't. If there was something to gain besides taste.
You would gain all of its courage.
Oh.
No, you've got plenty of courage.
Yeah,
You don't need to kill someone and steal theirs.
If I grew a second dick, yeah, I need a slice. Put it on a saltine.
Would you have one on the front and one on the back? Or one on the top and one on the bottom?
What would make the most sense? Actually,
Two on your hands. More like this.
I think
One on your elbow.
I think two on your hands. Like, nothing beats that. Life would get so hard. If you
You would always have to wear oven mitts, and then like you'd see something that made you excited, and they would like fly off because you got a hand boner.
And then, like, are you always trying to grab stuff and you can't? And you can't draw or write?
You would need a special rig to like have like a grabber, because you wouldn't be able to grab stuff with dick hands.
In the ideal scenario, you are the CEO of your own circus and you make billions of dollars and someone else does everything for you because you have a dick on each palm.
That's right. You just call the shots. I call audibles, because I have dick hands, and
And you start using toe grabbers. Like, you can just grab things with your feet.
so then you can't wear shoes anymore. It's all connected.
Yeah, like paradise.
Yeah, if you're a CEO of a circus and you wear oven mitts on your dick hands, paradise on earth. We nailed it. That's it.
Okay, so the two trending hashtags for this episode are hashtag dick hands, palm.
Well, Cloaca Maxima, Turd Rapture, Electric Jelly, Eggshell Appeasement, Rice Ball Warmer, and Cloacal Copulation.
The cloacal kiss.
The Cloacal Kiss.
All right, guys. We're now streaming. We are now streaming. We are
Find us on
streaming.
your podcast
Find us in your
thingies.
pocket. Turn us on. Don't turn us on.
Turn me on, turn me on.
Hit play. Hit play whenever you want to chew on dick hands.
If you want to like goof, but also like get a little deep and just talk about maybe poop, sometimes pee.
How are you?
How am I?
Yeah, this is the bonus part of the episode.
Oh, this is like the after hours thing. I feel great. I feel really good. I'm working on my creative bits, hanging with friends, eating fruit and nuts and toast with butter and running around doing shooty hoops. Yeah, I feel really good about all the things I got my little hands on.
You know, that butter is the only butter that Lucas could find at the store that didn't have oil in it. You know, because that's like the thing now is olive oil. You know, and you're like, you're just trying to beef it up with, you're just trying to make it more profit on your end.
Yeah,
That was the only brand.
so it's pure butter.
It's just butter. There is no oil in it.
How do they make it spreadable? Do they whip it?
Ooh, I don't know.
Is there something besides oil in there making it spreadable?
I've gotten butter from a farmer's market that's spreadable.
Is it at room temperature though? Isn't, I don't
It's at
know.
room temp.
It is, but I feel like it's supposed to go in the fridge.
Really? I grew up with butter outside of the fridge.
Yeah, I've seen that in sticks. I don't know why I feel like that is a different product.
I think it's the same.
I trust you because I just ate a bunch of it.
You're gonna have diarrhea forever.
What else is new? Oh, please. Please do. Any of this is for you.
Have a nut.
Believe it or not, this napkin used to be navy blue. Not sure how that happened. I like cloth napkins. I like to use them as bindles for snacks. Try and stay away from plastic.
You'd like to use bindles when you're traveling across the country by train car?
That's right. A bindle is a very useful thing because you can put it on a stick and throw it over your shoulder and just be ready for anything that's going to happen.
Like a continental soldier.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Flow.
It does. It's full of pistachios.
And orange rinds.
Sorry, I ate all the oranges.
Mandarins.
$8.
Yeah.
I know, but I buy it because I love eating them. These are a little dry. But I'm trying to eat all of them because they're like just getting drier. So like I need to eat these before they get terrible. But I really don't want to. But I'll do it anyway so I don't waste the food. Hey, check out Rubbish Cook. I'm gonna post, I mean, I don't know when I'm gonna post, but I'm always doing stupid stories of what I'm cooking in my apartment.
We gotta think of the next thing.
I was thinking about it last night when I went to this Zambian psych rock band from the 70s called Witch, and it's an acronym for We Intend to Cause Havoc. Yeah. And it was so awesome. I was just like dancing really hard the whole time. Sahara Lounge. It was like a secret show, and I was just dancing really hard, and I got the idea for the next Rubbish Cook production.
Is it a secret? Or are you gonna tell me off cam?
I'll tell you off cam.
Okay, sick.
But yeah, I feel that seed starting to germinate. Because sometimes you get a little worried. You're like, where is my creative flow? Because the way that I grooved on the okonomiyaki one was like so in-depth, research-based, so like into thinking of different shots and gags. And I'm just like, when is the next one gonna hit me?
Oof, yeah, that's
when am I gonna know what to make next?
Right.
But I feel like I have a kernel of an idea to go off of now.
You've never abandoned a kernel either. At least I don't think you have.
No, they're out there. I have so many notebooks. I never throw away a notebook.
Well, Apocalyptic Kitchen will come back.
I know Apocalyptic Kitchen is our destiny.
Yes, that is our destiny. Because that was so
That's
much
gotta
fucking
happen.
fun.
And yeah, I wrote like 6 episodes of it.
Woo!
I need money for it. I need money to make it. Production assistance.
What's gonna happen? We better start writing those Jim Carrey manifestation checks.
You're right, and I need to write all the recipes or like the food behind the episodes too. So I think we need to go and get new notebooks because this one's almost out. Once we get our new notebooks, we can really start planning out or just like manifesting our destiny out into the world.
Uh-oh. You just started it.
Bye. Bye.